really started something. Along about this time, America's frontier was expanding like a balloon. And with it came a great number of adventuresome people called homesteaders to join the Western scene. Well, young fella, for a man who faces dust storms, starvation, Indian raids, and blizzards every week, you're looking pretty good shape.
That's because I film them all in one take.
Oh, that's a beautiful dream. Look, I put on my work clothes so you'd feel more comfortable.
I appreciate it. I also appreciate you bringing me on right here. This is my favorite part of our country's history.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Michael. The turn of the century was good to America. We're healing from the last war and not yet suspecting the next, even though a hotshot pilot named Eddie Rickenbacker was warming up just in case.
And there was still space for a man to breathe. Get on a horse and ride all day, never hear a backfire. No disrespect to Henry Ford, who never got tired of showing the missus some of his earlier models in Detroit.
Yeah, those were good times.
An Indian named Jim Thorpe was running all over everybody on the football field.
Yeah, and Ty Cobb was making baseball history playing for the Philadelphia Athletics. Old Ty was real proud of that elephant on his chest.
I bet he was. Hey, you recognize him? He's one of my favorite people.
Samuel Clemens.
That's right, Mark Twain himself. One of the greatest storytellers of all time. Sure would like to have known him.
Well, better late than never. Why don't you just step over there and say howdy? See what happens.
I think I will. Evening, Mr. Twain.
Young man. Pull up a chair, set a spell.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I have to tell you, it's just such a great honor to just say hello to the man whose wit has lived through the ages.
Well, I've scarcely in my lifetime listened to a compliment more beautifully phrased or so well deserved.
I like a man who can take a compliment and still remain modest.
Well, I was born quite modest, but it wore off. But we all like compliments. Humorists, burglars, congressmen, all of us in the trade.
You seem in fine fettle. How is your health?
I smoke and I drink for my health. You can't neglect your bad habits. You know? If a doctor tells you to give up smoking and drinking to save your life, and you don't smoke or drink, it'd be like a sinking ship with no freight to throw overboard.
You're very content for a man your age.
I'm getting along in years, but I still contribute a day's work for a day's wages. I'm acquainted with a gentleman who is totally useless on top of the ground. He should be under it, inspiring the cabbage.
Let me ask you, you've had such a successful career. Newspaper man, novelist, lecturer, world-renowned humorist. Which one gave you the most satisfaction?
None of them. Now, the fondest memories I have are my days piloting a steamboat on the Mississippi. I loved that profession. Far better than any I've followed since. In those days, the pilot on a steamboat was the only unfettered and entirely independent human being that walked the face of the earth. The pilot house was a sumptuous glass temple offering a princely view of the great Mississippi rolling its mile-wide tide along, shining in the sun. You experienced the eloquence of silence, and then the haunting sense of loneliness, and isolation, remoteness from the worrying and bustle of the world. Then the dawn crept in. Solid walls of black forest softened into gray. The vast stretches of the river opened up and revealed themselves. And when the sun got up and, well, distributing a pink flush here and a powder of gold yonder and the purple haze where it revealed the best effect, you grant that you've seen something worth remembering. I hoped to follow the river the rest of my life, but I did not. I shall always regret it.